Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then my name is Deborah and I want to talk to you today about micro savings. Now, what are they? Well, they are little things that I do, little changes and tweaks that I make that actually add up to mean that I'm saving money. And I'm hoping that as a result of this video, you might take one or two things away that will make a change for you. One of the first things that you can do is turn down your thermostat for your boiler. I have been experimenting with this. We've already turned it down by 1 degree already this winter, and I have been gradually just knocking it back by half a degree and seeing if we notice, and actually we haven't. So that is a way that you can save money. And the other thing that I've been doing with the boiler is I've been just reducing the time that it's on. So it was coming on at 4:30 and going off at 9:30. If I can just pull that back by 15 minutes, do I need 15 minutes less? So it's coming on at sort of 4:45, finishing and going off by perhaps 9 o'clock. Then eventually it'll obviously go off altogether, usually by around May time. We wouldn't have the heating on at all. But can you just pull it back by 15 minutes or half an hour and see if that makes a difference? Also have a look at your boiler and see if you can turn down the actual temperature that the water is leaving the boiler if you've got a combi boiler, and see if you can just reduce that a bit. Again, that might be a way that you can save money. I'm also a big believer in using throws and blankets on the sofa. I'm actually in the market for a really nice thick throw blanket at the moment. I haven't found one that I really want yet, but I did buy a extra duvet cover, which I absolutely love, that I put on the bed. So we've got, all of our beds have got extra either duvets, blankets or comforters, so that once obviously the heating has gone off in the evening, if you're a little bit chilly, you can just add another duvet. A few years ago I did invest in LED lights, and I definitely think that they save money over time. I don't think I've even changed the ones in the kitchen for a couple of years now, which is brilliant because they're those you know, those recessed lights. I haven't changed them at all. I also invested in some automatic lights that come on. They're motion detector ones. They're just powered with batteries. I've got one in my understair cupboard. It just comes on for about 30 seconds after I open the door. And there's one at the top of the stairs. So we used to have a light on in the hallway at night time for the kids. They're a bit older now. They don't get up to go to the loo really or anything like that. So I've just got a motion detector light that comes on when you go out into the hall, and it stays on I think for about 2 minutes. So obviously then it's just your journey to the bathroom and back again, and that again, it means I haven't got a light on all night. With lighting as well, particularly in the sitting room, I invested in some lamps rather than using the overhead lights. So on our overhead lights, we've got 3 light bulbs in each of 6 total. So I do use them, and I can turn them on separately. But I invested in a couple of standard lamps, and we'll just have perhaps a nice atmosphere and just have a couple of candles and a standard lamp, and really that is all we need in the evening. So my next category is food. Now I know lots of people and myself, I've spoken to you about own brand shopping, changing your supermarket, but really what I want to focus on is other things that you can do to save money. I will link to some other videos that I have made about saving money on food. A big thing is meal planning for me, always cooking with leftovers in mind, so that I've always got that extra meal in the freezer, or at least I can make some kind of what we call bungatellini. We bung everything in and have a kind of a mix and match meal every couple of weeks with all the leftovers, that kind of thing. Always cooking with that in mind means that you're saving money on food and also saving money in terms of cooking that food. I am a big fan of the Too Good to Waste boxes. I've got them from Lidl quite a few times. I've shared it on my Instagram because they've just been fantastic, where you can pick up food where for £1.50 in a big box, and they can be pretty near to their date and need to be eaten up, but that's brilliant. And I just chop up veggies and freeze them as well, so that's a good way to save money on food. Another thing is I always have a bottle of water in my bag. I always have a snack in my bag so that I don't then have to, you know, go and buy something when I am out and about, which means you also save money on that. The other thing is I love my coffees. I probably have 3 coffees a day, and for me it's a real thing that I look forward to. It's a real pleasure to have my coffee, and what I have been doing is boiling the kettle and filling the kettle in the morning, and then I fill up a thermos flask of water, and I use that throughout the day. And I will use that to make my coffees, or if I'm boiling something I can use the water out of there, and it means I'm only boiling the kettle once. I have found that that's made a really big difference. I did purchase a milk frother a few months ago. I completely love it, and it does mean that coffee for me is this real pleasure and a real yummy event. I love it. I don't add sugar or anything like that. I just have my coffee and my foamed milk, and I absolutely love it. But it just means that I am definitely saving money because I'm not using so much electricity when I'm making my coffees. The other thing is that when I've shared this in lots of videos, if I am using my oven, I like to fill it. So I will never only cook one thing in the oven. I'll always be cooking something else as well. But I have been using my oven less and less since I got my air fryer. I will definitely share a video about this. I was gifted it. I know how lucky I am to have it, but it's made a fantastic difference. I probably use my air fryer 2, maybe 3 times a week, and that is in place of my oven. So my oven takes about 20 minutes to heat up before I can even cook in it, whereas my air fryer is pretty instant, and I can cook in it, you know, almost straight away. I can cook enough for all of us if I'm doing sausages or something like that, and then I can do, you know, some vegetables, and I'll use the hob for that with the water from my thermos flask. Do you see what I mean? And I'm using less electricity, less gas, and it just means that overall I am definitely making savings. So my final category is cleaning and washing. So that's cleaning the house and ourselves. So when it comes to cleaning, this is about maybe 3-4 years ago, I did this kind of challenge when I tried to use less, and I tried to use half of things. And I do still do it. So I'll try and use half a Brillo pad, half a scouring pad, half a, you know, a magic eraser. I'll try and use less. And I've also experimented with using less fabric conditioner, or not at all, less washing powder in a scoop. You never need as much as they really suggest, things like that. Just using less and just experimenting with it and see kind of what you can get away with. And that is definitely something that I continue to do, because at the end of the day, if you're using less of something, you're replenishing that and buying that less and saving money. I do buy a budget shower gel for the shower. I've got it in a pump, which was one that I'd purchased years ago that I just keep replenishing with cheaper shower gel. It smells nice though, it's only from Lidl. And 500 millilitres is 55p, which is a complete bargain. So I just refill it, and then the kids have got these scrunchy shower scrunchies, and it means that you can use 1 squirt of shower gel, and actually it means that you're using less shower gel than if you're just popping it onto your hand. So definitely that is a good way of saving money, because you're using less shower gel. A big thing for me is washing my hair less. So obviously if I'm washing it less, then I'm using less product. I'm also not so long in the shower, so I try to wash my hair every other day, and same with the kids. I don't necessarily think that hair needs to be washed every day unless you've got super sweaty, or if I'm decorating and I've got covered in paint or something like that. Otherwise, I think you can stretch it to at least every other day, or even more with kids, if you know, particularly when they're younger and they're not like sweating or producing oil or all the fun. So I definitely think, yeah, just generally washing your hair less can definitely mean that you're making a saving. I'm also a big fan of using dupes. So I do love makeup, I love beauty stuff, but I like trying dupes. So I bought things from Aldi and Lidl and also Primark. I'm a big fan of their what is a dupe of Double Wear foundation from Primark. So I definitely think that you can still use the things that you want, but you can get them for a better price. And once you've got those dupes, you can still use less. And just think about how can I use that product less so I am not having to replenish them all the time. So like I said, I hope at least you might take 1 or 2 tips away from this micro savings video. Tell me, what was your favourite tip, or have you got any other tips on how you can make micro savings in the home? I would really be interested to hear about them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!